Coming at you again, campinggeartv.com. My name is Ben.
I'm Josh.
And here we are reviewing your latest and greatest outdoor and adventure gear.
Yeah. And today we've got socks.
This seems like it should be a boring episode, but before we get into the logistics of this stuff, I'm here to tell you that I've been a changed man looking at these socks. A good pair of socks will go a long way, and we're going to tell you why.
Yeah, and that's because these socks are made by sheep in Argentina.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are they from?
Teko.
Teko.
And when I say made by the sheep, I mean that the sheep actually make them.
They're in there really getting in there to make these socks.
Mm-hmm.
But Teko was kind enough to send us a couple sets. Not gonna lie, swear to God, I've been using mine non-stop all the time.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
These socks, I wore a pair when Ben and I went and did some backpacking recently. I wore one Teko sock, and then I wore one regular sock, like a running sock that I had from a while back. And the Teko was more comfortable and did seem like it was more breathable.
Right. I also have been using mine for backpacking, outdoor hiking. Been using mine for running. If you go to Teko's site, they have a couple different lines where they have some socks that are focused on walking, hiking, running, trail running. Really good stuff. I've been using mine when I run, and one of the reasons that I like these socks is that the materials that they use to construct with, I believe those are used. You used those before.
I was just making sure.
Yeah. It's a tighter fit to the foot, and it's comfortable. But because of the materials that they use, the sock doesn't stretch as much. So I think after over a period where you're using them a long time, the sock is still going to retain its shape and not stretch out as much, keeping your foot, everything closer to your foot. And I think that, as silly as it may sound, kind of helps your shoe and your sock to become more part of your foot, being able to move more aggressively, whether you're hiking or you're running.
Yeah.
And so maybe you could talk a little bit more about these materials that we got in here.
Yeah, so the main thing is these socks are called a Teko Merino Midweight Mini Crew. Okay? So let's talk about that stuff a little bit. So merino, they're made from organic, chlorine-free merino wool.
And we learned that chlorine is used in most socks. These are chlorine-free.
Yeah.
Better for the environment.
Better for the environment.
Better for your feet.
Yeah. So, wool is known for being a good moisture-wicking material. So that's good for socks when you're camping, backpacking, things of that nature.
Very breathable material.
Doing the deed, stuff like that.
Is the deed hiking?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just won over a ton of ladies with that one.
The wool that's used in this is from Argentina, and they get them from sustainable, environmentally conscious farms where they don't use pesticides. So the sheep that this wool comes from are not eating pesticides, so just kind of environmentally conscious all the way around.
Really going all out to get good materials to make a good sock.
No sheep were hurt in the making of these socks.
Nope.
Nor were their feelings hurt.
Nope, not at all.
No. And so they've got seamless toes, arch brace, articulated heels, which is kind of cool. It reminds me of like a reticulated python. And it's got strike zone cushioning and the comfort stretch zones.
Yeah, this is the important area. There are two of them on the socks, right?
Yep. Each sock has a comfort stretch zone.
Usually they are, I think they're all in the same spot on every sock. They're on the top of your foot, and then where the foot meets your leg, there's another one there.
Yeah.
And this is actually made of a little bit different material than the rest of the sock, correct?
Yeah, it is. The majority of the sock is a combination of polyester and wool. And in the stretch zones, there's a higher proportion of lycra and nylon in there. And that's because they have greater breathability, and they're a little more stretchy, right? So in that area on the top of your foot, the stretch zone, You know, so right here at the top and then here, it provides more breathability for air to escape, and then it also allows the sock to have kind of a more performance fit, tighter fit to your foot.
Getting through all the scientific hoopla that we're going through, I think in layman's terms what we're getting down to is that this sock is just going to give you better comfort and better performance than just a regular pair of socks that are out in your drawer. Before we were really looking at some of this stuff, I've been just more prone to use regular socks in such activities and thought, what's really the difference between the two? And I can tell you there's a ton of difference. First of all, just making sure your feet are as comfortable as possible needs to be like one of your number one priorities when you're out hiking and camping, because if your feet if you injure your feet or you get blisters or anything like that, you're just going to have a miserable experience outside. It's just one of the things you have to take care of, and I really think that these socks go a long way in doing such things. I can't remember exactly offhand what there's a ton of socks of different lines and different styles that Teko makes, and so the prices are varied. I think a lot.
These are $17 a pair.
Okay, some of them I think I've seen on there, depending if it's a smaller size. I've seen as cheap as like maybe 13 or 14, and I think there have been some that are closer to the $20. You know, it's summer, so we're looking at a lot of like mini crew socks. They have higher ones that are up to the calf, that maybe we'll take a look at later in some winter episodes. But overall, just like,
do they have any that come up to here?
They have some that are right underneath your armpit. It's like a whole,
it's kind of like waders.
Yeah, like a body
sock.
It's a body sock. Is what it is.
Sock.
And it's for like what are those when you're hopping in the sack?
Potatoes.
It's for better performance in those types of events. When you're at like a county fair and you're racing, you want to just slay those dudes.
That's a performance fit and it's breathable. That makes sense.
Right. If it's raining outside, good whippability. So, but really, really good. We'd like to thank Teko for sending us these. Maybe you could send us some more. I love my socks. I really I can't say enough about them, honestly.
Good socks.
I'm just surprised at how good socks are, but they are very good. So, anyways, we will definitely be reviewing more gear and more items in the future. Come back, check us out, and we will be providing you with good reviews and features of the latest and greatest outdoor gear. That's Gary. That's Josh. I'm Ben. CampingGearTV.com.